Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Well, welcome into Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Glad to have you with us here for another one of our fantastic Sunday night shows. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff, DT on TV with us. We got a fun night of action coming up, and to the point we even get to show off some heat races tonight.
That we do. Not often we get to do that here on Home Track Heroes.
No, so we'll give you a little bit of youth Hornet flavor. We'll get a little more figure eights going in, so some super stock figure eight heat races coming up, and even more over the course of our program. It's GREENSHIELD's Industrial Night here at the track, and a big thank you to them as we are ready to roll. This is the Youth Hornet Heat Race, Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets. Sophie Neal starts in the pole. She's out of Everett, the airport, welding a muffler, number 24. Mason Blodgett is the 43 out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Allied Motorsports. Second row is Caleb Williams, 50 car out of Gold Bar, and the 4 of Taylor Thompson from Snohomish is sponsored by Weather Right Roofing.
The number 23 is Alexis Tubbs out of Monroe, sponsored by DL Enterprises, right alongside the 35J of Hawk Jenkins out of Maltby, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports. Row number 4, your final row, the Weather Right Roofing, number 32 of Sawyer Holden, right alongside Cameron Iverson, supported 14X, the Buckley native Jacob Levitt.
All right, 8 cars around the short track. This is just 1/5 of a mile here at Evergreen Speedway around the inside. Our program today brought to you by the fine folks at All Ply Roofing. A huge thanks to those guys as they have been on board as our title sponsor all year long here on Home Track Heroes. We are up, we are rolling, and the green flag is out. First heat race of the day. We'll get into main events a little bit later, but for now, a little short guys going 8 times around.
Already pushing the limits here. We were 4 wide in that first corner. Now we got some contact. 24, 4, 50, 23 all involved.
You could darn near say half the field and probably be right. 1 car around, and that is going to be the 24s there, 4 wide. Jenkins trying to split the difference, and Sophie Neal gets the wrong end of it. Unfortunately, the 4 of Taylor Thompson polishes that whole deal off. So 1 lap, 1 caution. It's an auspicious start. Let's try not to keep that ratio up.
Yeah, I think they can figure it out.
You're optimistic.
I like to be optimistic here.
We'll call you Mr. Optimism.
Here in the booth,
tonight.
it's my job to be optimistic.
Mr. Optimism, Derek Todoroff. All right, I'm into it.
That's so weird to hear.
Let's print that t-shirt. All right, up front, Neal, who was the one who was turned around, will get her spot back. So we'll try that one more time for her.
Well, we are going to do a full race restart here. We did not complete a lap.
Neal, this time, nosing ahead. And to the early advantage, although, wow, shot out of a cannon from the outside. Mason Blodgett, look out, Mason. He got up close to, I don't know, the far reaches of that really quickly. They're going to go 4 wide again.
Yeah, they are...
It worked so well the first time.
Well, they made it work this time at the very least. Blodgett going to try and pull away from Williams, who's got a rearview mirror full of Tubbs and Jenkins.
That's Mason's new car, too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, so we see the new Blodgett mobile here today. He's out front. That's Williams in the red, white, and blue 50, and Hawk Jenkins trying to work to the inside. He's got a nice line in there for second and takes a spot.
Reminds me of the old Winston Cup cars with all the contingency sponsors on board the number 50.
I didn't get a good look at the corner panel. I'll have to get another shot of that. So Blodgett in the multicolored, off-colored rear bumper cover, number 43 is up and leave. Okay, I can kind of see it coming in there, right? You know, stacking the little 4x10 decals on the fenders. It's old school. I dig it.
Nice. Like I said, throwback to those Winston Cup days.
Sawyer Holden has made his way into 4th in the Porsche as he continues to try to pull his way forward. Alexis Tubbs is in the 3rd spot. These heat races on the 5th mile are going to go fast, and it's unfortunate for Taylor Thompson, facing the wrong way.
Yellow flag will fly, everyone backing it down. The 4 come to a stop in front of the Uke tire. Looks like we got a replay. 4 is going to slide around and oh
wow! Well,
Bonus
that would have been a heck of a shot if it was a bumped pass race. That would have counted. Well, all right, so Sophie Neal has now been on the end of getting spun out and has been on the end of absolutely tagging Taylor Thompson. And it was Thompson that turned her around, so maybe what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Well, I'm not seeing the number 4. Might just be out of frame on our lineup here. Thompson.
No, Thompson, I think, is called her good for this heat
Yeah,
race.
tough break for the number 4 of Taylor Thompson, but we are back underway. Blodgett running away from the 35J and the 23.
Jenkins in the 35, eyeballing opportunity here. He'll come up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, front bumper getting used in the Jenkins car.
He did hit the brakes, didn't want to pass him that way.
Tubbs is looking to the inside of Jenkins, and that's open lane around the top for Holden. Trying to make her work around the outside. Meanwhile, battle for the lead still on as well, as Holden shoots to third.
Ooh, we're going to get a close one here at the end of it. Holden coming up on the high side against 35J. 43 of Blodgett still in control of this one. But 3 very dominant cars from this season and the last coming quick.
Hawk Jenkins just did Mason Blodgett's gigantic favor as he drove the 43 of Holden out into Timbuktu on the high side there. It was a very long, wide lap for Sawyer Holden, and that might have been enough to secure this win for Blodgett out front.
I think it will. Through turn number 3, Holden going to sling it to the high side against Jenkins, but off the corner.
Oh!
Blodgett is going to hold on, have some troubles come across the line, but barely. Will hold off the number 35J of Hawk Jenkins and the 23 of Alexis Tubbs.
It's like random brake check at the end.
You know,
hey, there's a checkered. Stand on it.
Sometimes we have little slip-ups there at the end. I know mechanical problems can happen at any point in the race.
You know, they're also little kids. That Youth Hornet class is a bunch of 12 to 14-year-olds. So, you know, I don't know about you, but my decision-making as a 12-year-old was pretty questionable.
I barely remember my 12-year-old self.
It was only like 3 years ago. Come on.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised you remember it all the way back in 1832.
You're forward about 100 years on that. Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure Eights are on the track. First 2 heat races for them. Jeff Anderson is the 78 out of Snohomish. Rugged Radio is his sponsor. Jacob Funk in the 8 car. PNW Traffic Control and Supply. Jeff Talbert's the 47 out of Arlington, sponsored by Pilchuck Heating, and the 43 is Sheridan Vincent out of Darrington, sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment.
As they come around, the Be Happy carpet cleaning number 11 is Blaine Manning, alongside the McCarthy General Contractor Stanwood native number 17X of Ricky Argus. Cowboy John Carlson, the Rev Up Energy number 36, and the 6-7 of Mackenzie Dietz out of Monroe driving the BECU machine. We are away, and Captain Chaos leads the way.
It is a fun and loaded heat race here for the first of these 2 super stock figure eights.
Ooh, up the hill went Anderson.
Yeah, they got way wide and funky coming off of the left-hand corner that sent him into the intersection. Look out, using up a lot of racetrack. Out in front, Jacob Funk trying to figure her out. Talbert's down, moved his way into second, that beautiful blue 47.
I don't think the captain will make any illusions of telling you he has the fastest car in the field. He is under a lot of fire from some very respected names in Superstock Figure 8 racing and a multi-time winner.
And at the same time, you don't have to have the fastest car. Sometimes just the whitest one, right?
Yeah, I don't think he has either there as he slides back to 5th. Love you, Jacob.
Yes,
Keep prepping my Stinger 8 car.
It is Talbert leading. Carlson has been on a bit of a heater. Last time we saw the Flyshacker 37, it was the Cowboy winning the Figure 8 Nationals for him. Congratulations to them and the team. And looking to keep the momentum up as Talbert's leaving enough of that inside groove open as they circle around to the left. Let's see how aggressive Carlson wants to get and try to take the spot away from him here in the heat race.
Yeah, 47-36, then the 67 of Dietz, and there's the 11 of Blaine Manning. Multi-time winner, has run into some troubles these last couple of races. Excited to see if he can mount a comeback charge behind the wheel of the number 11.
Rumor has it and is confirmed by the sign on the right rear quarter panel. That car is for sale. Now, it is bad luck to put a for sale sign on a race car, so we'll see if that jumps up to bite Blaine at some point in time as he's trying to chase down Mackenzie Dietz.
I think it did bite him twice last time out, so maybe he's offset the bad karma.
How much worse can my luck get? I've already wadded it up a few times.
Oh, I don't think he's saying that, because that's inviting it to get worse.
Very much so. Talbert's having a nice heat race here, keeping the top spot on Carlson, and these heat races are for season championship points, nothing else.
Yeah, the big battle in the season championship right now is Cowboy and Mackenzie. So the 36 of Carlson might not try and push the envelope too far against this number 47.
He'll take the one spot advantage that he has over Dietz as this one is about to be through. Talbert cruises through and picks up a heat race win. It is Cowboy second, Dietz third, Manning fourth, and Yargis taking fifth. First of 2 Superstock Figure 8 heat races here, as we'll give him 1 second to kick back, relax, catch their breath. We have got another Superstock Figure 8 heat, 8 laps coming around the world's most dangerous intersection, and a look at your lineup for heat race number 2. Your pole sitter for this one's Chris Southard out of Everett, the All-Solve Plumbing 76S, Tasha Dunn in the 369 out of Sultan, sponsored by All Ply Roofing, Rick Jones in the 66, Spanky's Twisted Cartoons, and the 20 of Skylar Cruz out of Covington, sponsored by Big Truck Service out of Fife.
Pro H&S on board the 45, Darrington native of Chevy Vincent. PCI on the Evergreen Speedway Hall of Famer, the 01 Grizz Doug Delfell. 63 is Big Bird Robert Weldon out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC. Alongside the one-arm bandit making his return, Quentin Borson out of Aberdeen, the number 5, sponsored by Mary's Towing.
Green flag is out. Southern and Dunn from the front row. Really nice field here tonight of Superstock Figure 8s. And, Chris, not the best corner. It's going to give the advantage to Tasha Dunn.
Might have been a little bit of door-to-door contact there, not sure. What I can tell you is Chris has taken the nose off of that 76S. You say he was putting the Superstock in Superstock Figure 8. Now, looking slightly more traditional, still a very rounded body, but...
Yeah, well, the body style that these guys run, by and large, is, if you were looking at the 5-star catalog, it's the ABC body, and they're very similar bodies to what you're going to see on the late models. However, you amend them and you change them. If you can imagine just putting a nose piece on the Delfell car, that thing would look just like one of our Pro Late models, right?
Yeah, I suppose it would.
And so that's the key. You take that off, and part of the reason they're doing that is they want less hanging out in the front of their car when they go through the intersection, so less to get tagged with if somebody is coming through. And frankly, as much as they're using their noses in this, it doesn't make sense to have to replace a front nose piece because, as you and I have talked a billion times, this is a little bit more physical racing by its nature.
Oh, this is a very physical side of, the sport. As, problems for Tasha Dunn there. Earns her a bit of a tap from the 20 machine, speaking of physical racing. Speaking of being an old class, this is 2 old-timers out front right now, Grizz and the one-arm bandit. Hall of Famer battling the multi-time Superstock Figure 8 champion.
And we've got an interesting scenario building here in this heat race, much like the last one. Grizz from the mid-pack is your leader, and then your 8th place starter, or back row starter in the 5 of Borison, is running up there to challenge. So Delfell and Borison, they respectively started 6th and 8th, running 1-2 in the heat race, and with a couple of laps to go, Quentin Borison trying to put himself in position to get this done. Gonna swing to the outside here in the right-hand set of corners. That car has so much grip and so much acceleration, although, it's taken a lot of looking, but there is just a little bit of a shake in the left front tire there, so they're down to 1 lap left.
That might be a memory from some of the damage sustained. I believe Dawson cracked that one at Figure 8 Nationals while behind the wheel of the number 5.
Yeah, that car did only made about a lap or 2 of the Figure 8 Nats. Final corner, and Grizz gonna hang on for an impressive look and heat race win. Borison will take 2nd and give 3rd. Nice run for Skylar Cruz. All right, that'll do it. We are through the Superstock Figure 8 heat races. Let's go small car, but let's go bigger track. Mini stocks coming up on the 3/8 mile. It is our mini stock division, the BECU mini stocks. We've got 6 for 8 laps. It'll take a little bit longer, as you have got Paisley Bender, who's going to start on the pole. She's out of Snohomish. Allied Motorsports, the sponsor of the 18. Zach Bristol, feature winner on the year in the 97 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Racers Against Child Abuse, starts outside row number 1. Brandon Lindbergh in the 88, the JBR entry out of Monroe, sponsored by Tire Pros. And Lyndon Smith outside row number 2, the 221 from Everett. His primary sponsor is PRCBD.
Liquamali on board the number 11, Bellevue native Keegan Mooney behind the wheel. And out of Edenville, driving the number 92, sponsored by A&J Custom Metals, that's Ashley Rasmussen.
All right, so there's your 6. They're going 8 times around. And again, these are only for season points. The A-main lineup has been determined by qualifications and then whatever the invert ended up being on the night for that individual division. So all these drivers are gunning for here is a chance to ascend the Evergreen Speedway Season Points Championship chase. Bender to the start-finish line. Green flag is out with Bristol to her outside, her JBR teammate Lindbergh to the inside behind her.
One of the first and I think most interesting things to notice, 5 Mustangs in this race. one non-Mustang, a Volkswagen Rabbit, I believe, is the number 97. He's your race leader off the gun, but here comes the 221, the 2023 mini stock champion on the hunt.
You look at it, yeah, 5 Mustangs, and they're all after that one itty-bitty little marsupial rabbit out in front of the field as it runs through the middle of the racetrack. Well, what? I see the look. I could have called him a speedy turtle. As there goes Smith to the inside, and Lyndon Smith making the bid for the lead. He has got it down the back straightaway. Smith, a lot of horsepower in that car. We know how fast it is. That is the former Lane Sunholm car that Lyndon has called home for a few years, and he's had good success in it.
Bristol's told us throughout the season that number 97 a little bit underpowered compared to some of these other cars, but that means he can hold the throttle longer, put a lot more heat in those tires, and he is a consistent and skilled wheelman. So always count on that 97 to be in the conversation.
It corners really, really well. You never really see the 97 scrub speed at the turns, and that's where he's going to be competitive and trying to make this up. As Smith is managing to distance himself, and you can get a look at the line he has taken. All 4 tires above the white stripe down that back straightaway. He is getting wide on that back chute.
He'll come around leading over Zach Bristol and Brandon Lindbergh. Lindbergh, a driver who's been quietly having quite a good season behind the wheel, that number 88. Former 2-time Stinger 8 champion, turned to mini stock racing.
Having a good year, looking to crack into that top spot in victory lane here sooner rather than later, as, boy, these laps have gone by really fast, and it's Ashley Rasmussen bringing us to a caution flag in the middle of turn number 3.
Take a look at what happened here.
Yeah, got into the corner, and we can just see the front end starting to come around on her, and to a stop. We'll be back. We'll finish off this mini stock heat race and start working into main events when we come back next. You guys are tuned in to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. We are still heat racing here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff, and we go back to action after that spin out right before the commercial break. Ashley Rasmussen has got the 92 point in the right direction, and we have got just a few laps to go here for our BEC Mini Stock Heat Race number 1.
3 left in this one as they take the green. Bristol was not quite keeping pace with that 221, but definitely has a shot here on this restart to try and make something happen. Brandon Lindbergh also going to take advantage. He stays in the mix as they come off the corner still side by side.
Oh, and Bristol to the outside of Lyndon. He was able to pin him on that first lap, but Lyndon will get clear enough that he can widen his entrance into the corner and carry maximum speed. We'll watch him stretch this advantage as your top 3 roll to the white flag, this time by 1 to go.
One more time around for the 221 of Lyndon Smith. Luck has not always been on his side this season. I don't think the driver of the 221 cares all too much. Around and through turn number 3, the battle behind him falling away. He will take the checkered, your heat race winner, 221 of Lyndon Smith over Zach Bristol and Brandon Lindbergh.
Rest of the field rolling in past and through as we will get ready for BCU Mini Stock Heat Race number 2. And again, for season championship points, and a spot in these heat races can make a huge effect as far as the season championship tabulations go, as close as some of the races have been over the years here at Evergreen Speedway. Let's look at this one. Randy Dittmers is the 61 out of Snohomish. Debbie and Dan Chernesky sponsoring that car. Gavin Ballou is the 12 out of Marysville, sponsored by Absherbuild LLC. Travis Woodward in the 16 out of Lake Stevens, Simon and Son towing on it. And it's Cole Reardon in the 4 out of Granite Falls, Bob T. Builder, the sponsor for Cole.
Number 59 is Tegan Bjornson out of Arlington, sponsored by the Newell Corporation. Number 8, Josh McMillan, who's listed that he's from the North Pole.
Wow.
And is sponsored by the Christmas Drink Company, who put the days in holidays.
Wow. Got some, like, spicy nog or something like that.
I think he wins the Long Haul Award.
Well, if he's truly from the North Pole, that's a long, long ways away.
You think the sleigh brought it here?
I think that the car should at minimum be Christmas themed, right?
I'd agree. You know, the advantages of having an airport so close to the racetrack is we can just fly in these race cars from faraway locations like the North Pole and the Shire.
A Shire? He's not a hobbit.
He's not.
Green flag is out. as it's Dittmers versus the 12 of Baloo, and Baloo to the early lead and climbing to the outside. I arguably one of the most impressive mini stock guys this year. Cole Reardon's having a great season in the 4-car.
Oh yeah, and you can flash back to the end of last season where he came in with I'll put it bluntly, a very patchwork machine, had different body panels, various colors, looked like he'd driven through a paint store and not stopped. Now, this nice blue and chrome all coming together, and that season is following suit.
You know, it's one of the weird things. Paints, decals, wraps, never make the car faster. They just make it look good. The quality of the build was clearly there.
Oh, yeah.
And now the scheme matches that. As you can see, Reardon, who is rolling up on the back of Baloo, about a car length in and behind him. And a lot of speed in the 4-car, as we've got Woodward pulling off, and our own jolly little elf, Josh McMillan, has worked his way to 3rd. If he's going to be from the North Pole, he could be a jolly elf. That'll be fun. For the lead...
He could be the big man in disguise.
He very much could be. Baloo to the inside. Reardon works middle of the racetrack, in between the second set of hash marks, as he'll aim down the back straightaway and get up. They are just about door panel to door panel as they come off the corner. Reardon hanging it out outside, bidding for the lead into turn number 1.
Cole is a confident driver behind the wheel of that number 4, never afraid to take it outside the traditional racing line. But Baloo's not going to just surrender and give it to him. That number 12 fighting back. He's faced his own adversity over the course of this season. No one about to surrender here.
No, and Baloo fighting back. Reardon does have the lead at the line, but you've got the advantage of the shorter way around the racetrack for Gavin Baloo, and Reardon's giving him a lot of space. He's not pinching Gavin down. Confident in his own ability to drive in and around, and the car speed he has, he'll lead again that time by, but it's awfully close as they come to the white flag.
Yeah, one more time around the 3/8 oval. You see Reardon fall back on the exit of the corner. That allows the 12 to get up to the top, have a better entry this time, and that might make the difference.
I think Baloo might steal this one back. He will do so on the very last lap. Gavin Baloo, don't call it a comeback. He has got the heat race win over Reardon. And McMillan, straight from the North Pole, is taking the 3rd spot. Well done for him.
Indeed.
All right, let's upsize these race cars and go back to the figure 8. What do you say?
I do love my figure 8.
That is time for the Outlaws. The Outlaw Figure 8 division is up next for 8 times around the short track of our figure 8 course. Easy for me to say, right? Heat race lineup for this one. As it loads, Chris Curtis is in the 74. That doesn't look like Chris. What am I looking at here? Jess Wilkinson's the 55. Curtis, not sure where he is in that one. JE 55, Jess Wilkinson. Zach Larson's 83. Dakota Wilkinson's 9. And then Haley Wilkinson's 35. They're just in a weird order for me here.
At the tail back there, that is the 74 of Chris Curtis going into Bruce Beeler's car. Problems for the 74 team. Hearing some kind of issue with the headers.
So I see. Pull him out of the lineup and they re-crisscrossed. So that's what we got going. I follow. Well, we know that's the 83 of Zach Larson. And he is going to jump out to the early lead as he will roll forward and steal the top spot from the Wilkinson Army that is in behind him.
Yeah, the Wilkinson Army and Chris Curtis trying to fight his way through it. Good demonstration to see. We've seen Bruce Beeler throughout the season, that number 13. Curious to see what Chris Curtis can do behind the wheel of a different Outlaw. It's a different car in many different ways. I'm just going to keep saying different, apparently, and see if the word loses meaning.
No, I'll say this as well. The Beeler car, prior to this race, spent an afternoon in the Joe's shop where we completely did the entire plumbing on that engine. Saved a lot of weight off of it. That was one of the things. We went to all lightweight lines and fittings on that car. So performance on that car, other than having the grizzled and talented and decorated veteran of Chris Curtis, but it is a physically better car now.
Yeah, and it shows it right now. He's running in second, has made his way up from 5th. Still trying to close the gap to the 83G of Zach Larson. Larson, I keep mentioning this about a lot of drivers, but Larson has also had an up and down season, as we see the battle between brother and sister, Dakota Wilkinson in the 9, Haley in the 35.
Now, if Haley knew what was good for her, she would put the 9 car in the wall right now and force Doug to fix all of it. You're thinking, you know I'm right. She's got the advantage over him right now, and Dakota not really pushing. He had swung to the outside as they had made the left-hand corner a couple of laps ago, and he was to the outside. He's backed off for the time being as we watch Zach Larson cruise control as they'll go side by side again. Will the Wilkinsons.
He is slinging that car to the inside through these corners. Look at how tight he's taking these turns. That keeps putting him on the high side as we get the white flag for Zach Larson. It's unfortunately not the preferred line around a flat track.
No, not so much, although he's got the power to almost carry it as Larson is going to win this running away. Easy W for Zach Larson as it happens quicker than a hiccup. Curtis takes the Beeler car to second. That's a good shakedown for him. And third, Haley holds off Brother Bear Dakota with Wilkinson in the 5th spot.
No contact needed. No repairs needed.
Where's the fun in that? Exactly. We move forward. It is time for main event to action as let's go to the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets for all of their laps coming up in their A feature. Lineup looks like this. Sophie Neal is the 24 out of Everett. Airport Welding and Muffler. Mason Blodgett's 43 out of Lake Stevens. Sponsored by Allied Motorsport. Row 2, that is Caleb Williams in the unsponsored 50 out of Gold Bar. And outside row number 2, that would be Alexis Tubbs, the 23 out of Monroe. Sponsored by DL Enterprises.
Number 35J is Hawk Jenkins out of Maltby. Sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports. Right alongside the Porsche, the number 32 Sawyer Holden, sponsored by Weatherite Roofing. Rounding out your field, supported by Cameron Iverson, the 14X of Jacob Levitt, hailing from Buckley.
So from the heat race to here, we lost Taylor Thompson. 4-car was not able to come back out. But we'll go 7 cars, and this time we'll extend the laps around the inside of the 5th mile here at Evergreen Speedway. Done fairly in the Speedway Chevrolet, listening to some kind of San Francisco Giant baseball game, I'm sure. So we go green.
And we are going to immediately go 3 wide once again in turn number 1, as is tradition for the Youth Hornets. Blodgett going to try and run away just like he did in the heat race, but there's a lot more time for drivers to make their way to him and maybe by him. Your race leader on lap number 1, the 43 of Blodgett. Second place already, Hawk Jenkins, the 50 of Williams, in third.
That flat shot from turn 3 gives you an idea, and of course we saw it here on the figure 8 course of really how tight this circuit is, and again how flat it can be around the inside of this racetrack. It is not a lot of banking there, as Williams trying to hold off Tubbs for third. Top 2 will battle though, Blodgett and Hawk Jenkins for the lead early in this.
Oh, here's the 35 making the move to the low side, trying. Gonna keep the car there. You see the nose a little folded up from earlier contact. That does not phase the future Stinger 8 driver in the 35J. He gets by Blodgett.
So your leader is now Jenkins. Blodgett shuffling back a spot. Tubbs holds third. The question is, how far can Jenkins get out and ahead? We saw how fast Holden was in coming up through the field. Does Jenkins need to build himself a advantage to keep the 32 at bay if the 32 can make his way through this traffic?
Yeah, traffic going to be a huge deciding factor right now with 15 to go.
Well, with 15 to go, we need to thank the fine folks at the Buzz Inn Steakhouse. They serve hand-cut Angus steaks. Yum. Breakfast all day and mouth-watering burgers. Visit one of their 11 locations for a great deal on a great meal. The Buzz Inn Steakhouse, your best choice. They're also open late after the races here at Evergreen Speedway. So if you're craving a country fried steak late at night, get you some potatoes and some veggies to go with it. Oh yeah, dinner of champions. Or get the breakfast country fried steak, the Bigfoot. Breakfast of champions at post-race at Evergreen Speedway.
Breakfast.
Breakfast is always delicious. Working forward, Blodgett now feeling some pressure from Tubbs, who's trying to work her way into second. She's got the line on him going into the corner, but Blodgett gets down just in time. Hang on to the spot for now, but here comes Alexis trying to pressure him into turn number 3.
Well, 23 was faster in qualifying, but there's no rule that says you got to move aside for a battle for position. Not sure if that was a lockup or maybe a little bit of bumper. Either way, all's fair. Here on the 1/5 mile, Hawk Jenkins running away halfway home. 10 down, 10 to go. Alexis Tubbs and Mason Blodgett in pursuit.
He has certainly built up quite the gap in between them. Holden's made his way to 4th, but now he's got to get around Blodgett or underneath Blodgett and Tubbs before even trying to set sail for your lead car of Hawk Jenkins. There is Holden. Really interesting look at these cars again through that corner, and you see how the front end kind of goes down into dive and the car squats as they get into the corner. Watch it right there, they're in, and now boom, there is that car getting down into the suspension to make the turn. Holden will try to work his way past Blodgett this time by. Starts high, ducks low. Right on the bumper cover is, caution flag from Ronnie out on the top of the tower.
Problems for the number 50 of Caleb Williams. 2 replays coming up right here.
So Williams, got some help, and we have our first poor innocent Uke tire collision of the night.
Hopefully we don't get too many more of those. The Uke tires might start unionizing if they take too much heat.
That is their right.
That is their right.
Considering how many times they've been hit over the year here on Home Track Heroes, maybe they have a formal complaint. I don't know.
You'd think they would have filed one already, but...
So single file here for the Youth Hornet restart. That is a massive benefit to your race leader, Jenkins. Although, now that pack has been squeezed up on the back of him with Tubbs, Blodgett, and Holden here with 8 laps to go and coming back to the green.
Yeah, that advantage might be offset as with a heat race worth of distance remaining. Right on the back bumper is the 23 who gets tagged by the 43. Blodgett threw the car into the corner, got the 23 sideways. 35J going to try and take advantage, get as far away as he can as Levitt attempting to make a move on the 32 of Holden.
Yeah, Holden got way wide in turn number 1, and now he has ceded that spot to Levitt, Levitt moving forward into 4th, and this just got way more difficult on Sawyer Holden, who starts wide, cuts low, and might have that position back. Down to the bottom he goes. Sawyer Holden back to 4th.
Watching him here on the exit at 2, Holden will complete the pass. Now goes to work on the 43 once again, where we were prior to the caution. Dive into the inside. Here's the 32. You can make the move work by the exit of 2. You should be home free. If not, might have a problem.
For Holden, he's cost himself 3 laps, unfortunately, by that move that set him backwards. And Jenkins has got to rebuild that lead out in front. So Hawk Jenkins is rebuilt. Lexus Tubbs sits 2nd. Sawyer Holden, driver on the move in the 32 car, but his time on his side, it doesn't look like it, because Jenkins is coming to 3 to go this time around.
Only 4 to go. Make that 3, as you said. Coming around. Battle between Levitt and Blodgett now for 4th.
It's been a good late race charge here from Levitt as the 14Xs come alive in the late stages.
Gotta love the paint numbers there instead of decals.
That's how it all was back in the day.
Personal touch right there.
Yeah, the vinyl didn't really start coming into vogue until, I'm going to say, mid to late 90s. And nowadays, just about everything is wrapped or deckled if you're Canadian. As we're down to 1 to go, it is Hawk Jenkins looking for the feature win.
That's a vile pronunciation, Caleb.
Deckled?
Yeah.
You'll get used to it. Through the final corner, it is going to be Jenkins to the victory. Hawk Jenkins gets the win. Lexus Tubbs going to hang on for 2nd. And Holden takes position number 3 to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium for interviews.
Sawyer, a couple more laps. You might have had something for the 23. What more do you think you needed?
I don't know. The track was super, slippery, and I don't even know.
Been having a pretty good run here, driving this number 32 out here this season. Where are you looking to go next year?
I don't know. Probably Hornets.
And who would you like to thank for your 3rd place tonight?
My mom, my dad, Nana and Bappa, Holden Development Group, Weatherite Roofing, and yeah.
Driver the number 32, Sawyer Holden, 3rd place tonight. Good race out there tonight, Alexis. Now you do multiple things across, multiple disciplines. You do 4-H, you do stuff here at Evergreen Speedway. How do you balance racing with some of those other activities?
Luckily, they're at different times, so I can do both.
That's the best part about it. What more do you think you needed to get to Hawk on this one?
More laps.
And who would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
DL Enterprises, my mom, my dad, my grandma, and my grandpa.
Driver the number 23, Alexis Tubbs, second place in the A main. Hawk, who you got joining you up here tonight?
What? That's my friend Kingston.
You had a pretty good run there. Jumped up to second in the first turn. How do you navigate traffic so well at the top of these races?
Just think about it and go through the gap.
You got a big racing family out here in the pits in various classes of competition. Do they give you any good advice, or is this just a you thing?
It's kind of both.
And who would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
Protect instruction supplies, wrist printing, first line printing, PW, traffic control, my mom, my dad. God bless our troops, and God bless America.
Driver the number 35J, Hawk Jenkins.
We are Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Thanks for letting us entertain you here on this Sunday night as we move forward. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart, Derek Todoroff. It is the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure Eights, a huge field of cars for tonight's A main event, and the starting lineup looks like this.
Leading the way in the PCI 01 is the Grizz, Doug Delfell, alongside the number 11 of Blaine Manning, sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning. Row number 2, the number 45 out of Darrington, Chevy Vincent, sponsored by Pro H&S. The Monroe native, the number 67, Mackenzie Dietz, sponsored by BECU, outside row number 2.
Row number 3 is a good one. Quentin Borison from Aberdeen, Mary's Towing, number 5, and John Carlson in the Rev Up Energy, number 36. Row number 4 is Rick Yargis out of Stanwood, McCarthy General Contractor, the 17X, and Rick Jones in the 66, sponsored by Spanky's Twisted Cartoons.
Pilchuck Heating on board the number 47 of Jeff Talbert out of Arlington. He's right on side. The number 20 of Skylar Cruz out of Covington, sponsored by Big Truck Service of Fife. In the number 43, sponsored by Siskiyou Power Equipment, that is Tommy Gap, back behind the wheel of his old orange car. Number 76S is Chris Southard out of Everett, sponsored by All Solve Plumbing.
7th row is Jeff Anderson, 78 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Rugged Radios. 2 is outside, the 369 of Tasha Dunn out of Sultan, sponsored by All Ply Roofing. 8th row, Captain Chaos Jacob Funk, the PNW Traffic Control and Supply number 8 from To Be Announced. Yes, his hometown is To Be Announced. And the 63 of Big Bird Robert Weldon out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC. All alone at the back of the field, Devin Jenkins going to go super stock figure 8 racing as well in the 195 out of Maltby, also sponsored by PNW Traffic Control and Supply. So this is going to be a blast. 17 super stock figure 8s around the figure 8 course. I am stoked for this, Derek. Here we go.
Yeah, they are away. Jacob Funk, fun fact, has autographed the trunk of my car. It's just a fact.
Like your daily driver?
Yep, my
Really?
actual car.
And you allowed it or encouraged it?
It happened while I was not looking.
Got it. Well, like we were not looking, the Grizz
Whoa.
out to the early lead. Chris Southard says, nah, we're going to have to try this all over again. Thankfully, I didn't see too many drivers going kersplat into each other, so everybody might be all right. Let's get a look at their first replay. Turn.
Oh, Anderson clocks the Uke tire, nabs the 76S, and the 8 and the 195 don't really have anywhere to go.
However, they did a good job of not colliding and making for a bigger kaboom in the corner. To look from Dunn's standpoint, Tasha's sitting there thinking, wow, there's 4 cars I wouldn't have had to pass. From Southern's point of view, oopsie. Oh, well.
That's the wrong way, Chris.
Yeah, and we should take a second and thank Brandy with Brandy Hood Promotions. Congratulations, Saxon and Ashley, on the birth of your son this week. I assume you won't be running around helping us with a bunch of GoPros in the next one, but Brandy will just double the work. It'll be fine. Good by me. All right, we did, according to the ticker, have a lap in or so. So let's get the field already situated and ready to roll. And yeah, they're going to go a Delaware double style in here behind your leader, the Grizz, Doug Delfell.
Delfell in front of Manning and Vincent. We did, in fact, have one lap there. That ticked off while we were talking about Captain Chaos autographing the back of my car. Green flag back underway, and leading the way is the Evergreen Speedway Hall of Famer.
50-plus years of racing for Doug Delfell, and a new-to-him car as of last year, if I remember right.
I do believe so.
Yep, so Grizz doing some upgrades as he is out in front. I'll tell you what, Grizz is a very dangerous race leader here. Familiar with the intersection, he knows how to get through it, and can be wicked tough to pass at times, just because he really has basically a PhD in defensive driving. So Grizz in a good spot here early. Let's see how long he can hang on to it, and especially if he gets a caution flag or two over the course of this.
Well, he's going to have to hold off one of the younger drivers in the field, the number 45 of Chevy Vincent. Riding along with him on the top right of your screen, bottom left, we've got Mackenzie Dietz, and bottom right, we've got the Cowboy, John Carlson. Dietz currently running in 6th, Carlson running 5th, Vincent running 2nd.
Love the quad box look here as you've got Delfell by himself, the full picture in the left, and then in cockpit with 3 others. Gonna come up on the intersection early here as, yeah, you see Robert Weldon crossing at the back of the field, and we know he's not much for lifting back there, so chaos could be reigning, and it could be soon, although a little burp at the throttle that time for Weldon kept us from having massive crashes.
Well, it looks like the lapped car messed with Manning, Borson and Carlson to get by. Now Gap and Cruz trying to shoot through the intersection.
They'll make it by the hair on their chinny chin chin. 1 and 2 have got a little breakaway. Borson is now sitting in position 3.
Gap's around.
Oh, Tommy Gap, one of the legends of figure eighting here at Evergreen Speedway, and that is a bad place to be for him.
It's his old car, too.
It's what I've been told a couple of times, to the point where Sheridan Vincent has had some pretty good look out. That is Rick Jones, who goes right for the shot in the shorts on Tasha Dunn. And that should draw us to caution, I would imagine. Yes, it does.
Well, looks like we got some replays here. Just smacked right into the back there.
Dunn checked up off the intersection. You can see Yargis was making his way to get around, and I don't know if Jones, you saw him locking that up way in advance. He must have come off that corner and just had no chance to get the car moved or whatever.
Tough break there for the 66 and for the 369. Although Dunn may be able to continue, not sure how bad the damage is.
There's a lot that can go wrong when you're stalled out, like maybe sitting on the brakes and you take a really hard collision like that, plus enough of the linkages and suspensions in the back of the car. But
scanning through the field, looks like they're both continuing.
That's good news. I like it.
Yeah, looks like they are both still under their own power and continuing on.
So it'll be Delfell, your leader again, catches another caution flag after a few laps. That's awesome for Grizz, the veteran. Take a second, catch his breath, and get back to action. Vincent and Borison sitting in that 2 spot. Chevy version, not Sheridan version.
And here comes the one-arm bandit to the high side against Grizz.
Shot around to the outside. Chevy rebounds on the inside, and it's actually going to move Borison backwards, as now Borison side by side with the Cowboy John Carlson for 3rd.
We saw a little bit of trouble for the number 5 in the heat race. Got to wonder if some of that wheel wiggle, we'll call it, rearing its ugly head during the main event caused that bobble in the right-hander.
If you wanted to, the term that the racers use is that the tire is chattering. And you can see it just in a little bit of vibration in the wheel, a little bit of up and down movement. And it's not a firm, like, tire is compressing and tire is rebounding, like off a shock in a spring. It'll just be like a little itty-bitty, like your teeth are chattering kind of movement, the tire. We'll keep our eyes peeled for it as we complete another couple of laps. Delfell is out in the lead. We need to thank our friends at Chain Lake Express Car Wash for absolutely the best car wash ever. Treat your favorite ride to the professionals at Chain Lake Express Wash in Monroe. Chain Lake Express Wash, multiple wash packages designed to meet your budget and your needs.
I should take my car there to wash off the autograph from Captain Chaos.
Everybody had to check up and getting in and through as with 17 cars out there, the intersection is going to stay hot. It's going to be like that for a long while.
Oh, wow.
Delfell continuing his run in the top spot as Dietz now working to the inside of Blaine Manning, and will make the pass.
Drivers being warned, so they're checked up there. But we stay the same top 4. This is very famed group of 3 here.
Wow.
And they're sandwiching Chevy Vincent who's trying to carve out a legacy for himself here at Evergreen Speedway.
Think of all the race wins, championships, and major event wins that those drivers have in between them. Pretty incredible.
I believe we cracked 20 titles.
That's insane. This intersection now getting really gross. Vincent slung to the outside of Delfell there, and might have been bad timing, as now Borison gonna work down low and pick it up. Oh no, Delfell's checking up. It's a Doug Delfell sandwich with Vincent and Borison the bread, and here comes the Cowboy, taking advantage, working from 4 to 2.
Cowboy places his car the right place, the right time. He talked about what experience gets Delfell. Well, 36, no slouch in that department either.
And really, it was Vincent's willingness to go for it there. Oh, Delfell into the back of Cowboy. Carlson is around.
Whose bumper is that?
I don't know, but dear goodness, the front bumper on Delfell sure got used coming into that corner.
Well, and now Delfell has fallen back to 4th, Manning up to 3rd, Borison in 2nd, and Vincent's got a lap car between him and the one-armed bandit.
I was going to say, it was Chevy's kind of gumption to go for it when he saw Delfell checking up that really let him into the lead there. Delfell is still ahead of the guys in the back that were chasing him. That's Talbert in the 47 and Dietz in the 67 trying to run him down as they put a lap on the 195 of Jenkins.
Well, a lot of lap traffic here in front of Chevy.
Yeah, this is scary for your race leader, and especially considering Quentin Borison's in behind him and looking to make up that gap in a big hurry.
It's not someone you want behind you.
That is a bad time. 5th on back is the battle we watch right now with Delfell, Talbert, and Dietz getting after it. So we're down to 12 to go, and your leader gonna have a hard go of it up front. He has tucked it back in and brought it into line now. He's trying to defend from Borison.
Yeah,
Delfell might still be 4th if I'm looking at this right.
Yeah, he is running 4th. As now you see your leaders getting around the 8 of Funk. Crossover quickly there from the 45 to get past the 20, and that'll put Cruz between him and the 5 of Borison.
That was a beautiful move by Vincent. That really did create him some breathing room. Now to the inside and making the pass. Good job, Chevy Vincent, as he will get on by. Keep putting those slower cars between yourselves and the guys chasing you. See if Tommy Gap can do him any favors and hold up Quentin Borison for a second.
Well, you could see the craziness that these drivers get. We were watching along from Chris Southard's view on that 76S, and it's a melee right now. There's so many cars out on the track. We remember Figure 8 Nationals. We lost many of the cars by the halfway mark. We're under 10 to go and still have huge number of these drivers still out on the track. Can't have lost more than 2 or 3.
Vincent's found some rhythm now. He'll swing to the outside of Dunn, trying to put Tasha further in and behind. Borison doing everything he can, trying to take every punch from Vincent and counter punch by quickly getting past those slower cars. Now it is Jenkins checking up, and Borison has made up some big ground there as he gets by Dunn quite easily and gives chase through the intersection.
So it is Chevy Vincent, Quentin Borison, Blaine Manning in the number 11 trying to make his way forward. Then it's Delfell, and I want to say Dietz or Talbert running 5th. Ticker says Talbert.
Give it to Talbert, at least for now. Is Dunn getting sideways in front of Manning, loops it out in the corner. Will we stay green or not? Right now it still looks green.
This could change a lot if we see a caution here.
Flags in hand as Funk in the 8 car checked up for the intersection. Borison doesn't have to break stride. Now Dunn thought about blending back in. Both Vincent and Borison thankful that she didn't, as they'll make their way around the corner. 4 to go. Battle for the top spot is on.
Still being warned about 369. Nope, 369 gets out of the way. Car goes around at 76S.
Southern had problems in that exact same section a little bit earlier due to somebody getting around. It is Borison, quite literally the one-armed bandit you see. He's only got the one. Old school, sweet steering wheel, completely no gaps in that thing. That's for extra grip for Quentin for whatever he needs to do. And watch him saw that thing one-handed and trying to catch up and keep with Chevy Vincent. Vincent thought about trying to duck to the outside of Skylar Cruz, brought it back in line in a real hurry.
Dangerous game to play there. He's right here on the back bumper against the number 45. Chevy is not going to give up. But that is a very decorated driver right on his tail.
Oh, look at that. Vincent, did he get to the right spot when he needed to?
Oh, was it close calling the intersections to get the one to go?
One to go. He's got the inside lane. He'll get by Cruz. Borison's going to come in, give him a little love tap into the corner. One more intersection pass to go. Through the middle, clean. And Borison, one more try. No dice. Your winner, Chevy Vincent. What a run. Borison gets second. Third for Manning. When we come back, we'll talk to him on the Angel Twins Casino Resort podium here on Home Track Heroes.
All right, Blaine, third place tonight's got to feel pretty good after last week, Figure 8 Nationals, last time you guys were out. Talk about bouncing back.
Yeah, we've had a lot of problems this year. It's off and on. I won a race, and then the Nationals lost a distributor. On lap 10 tonight, I lost a cylinder, so it's running like I don't know what happened, but I was able to keep holding it on. Luckily, getting around a couple of crashes and holding tight as I could to Quentin, but ended up doing it.
Talk about who helps you get out here every time, and who do you want to thank?
Yeah, I need to thank Kenny Shukar, the car owner. He busted on this thing, keeping it coming out here. Dan Miller, Christian Miller from GN Northwest. B&R Drywall, Be Happy Carpet Cleaning, Winston Auto Repair, and my wife and kids that can't be here tonight, but they're usually here.
All right, let's give it up. Third place tonight, back on the podium, the 11, Blaine. All right, Quentin, second place tonight, first time for you back in the car and after a few weeks. Just how does it feel to be back out there and to get back up on the podium?
It felt amazing just to be back out in the car and out here having fun and entertaining everybody out here. It was a blast. Chevy did a great job up there, and I tried to catch him. He made a couple great moves in traffic. It separated us, and by the time I reeled him back in, we were getting the white flag.
Yeah, there was a quite chaotic race, cars spread out everywhere. Talk about what more you think you needed to get to the 45.
I don't know. The car's pretty good, I don't know. Missed a few weeks racing. Maybe I just need to get back on top of my game.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
Mary Brubaker, Mary's Towing, Mary's a Wreck Auto Parts, and she is also a top performing seller for Remax. So if you're looking to sell a house, check her out. Mary Brubaker, get a hold of her at Mary's Towing. Monroe Motel, good friend of mine. Olympia Pizza House. Tommy Gap for making this car awesome all the time. Keith Taylor for being in my ear tonight and helping all night. Brandon Lovely, Tabitha, and everybody that helps out. It's been an amazing season.
All right, let's give it up. Second place tonight, the 5-car, Quentin Borison. All right, Chevy, you had to defend for quite a while from Quentin right on your back bumper. Talk about how aware were you that he was behind you, and what was your strategy trying to keep yourself ahead?
I knew he was right behind me ever since we had the couple first cautions, and he was on my inside. And then, just knowing he's back there is make me really nervous, and I just tried to stick my line and stay out of cautions and wrecks.
When those laps start to tick down and you get closer to the white and then to the checker, do you feel the need to try to charge the intersection more or take a little bit more risk to try to stay in the lead, or did you try to keep your head down and run your race?
I was just trying to keep my head down and run my race and try not to hit anybody in the intersection.
And who do you want to thank? Who helps you get out here every time?
Anthem, Dog Spa, Pro H&S, and my mom and dad.
All right, let's give it up. The young gun, Chevy Vincent, back in victory lane.
Well, there's our own Speedy Turtle, Ben Iman, with the interview in Victory Lane. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. He is the giggling Derek Todoroff. I am Caleb Hart. Nice to have you guys with us here on a Sunday night as we get you ready. This is a big field of cars. First time the PRCBD Hornets have been on the show tonight. Their A main event is up next. Front row is Bryson Wingfield in the 65 Adam and Row, sponsored by his papa Tony Hill. 45 is Trinity Reppin out of Snohomish, the Reppin welding and rail car. 67 is Zachary Dixon out of Marysville, the color specialist, premium quality car paint service. And the 01 is Tanner Bjornson out of Arlington and the All-Ply Roofing Machine.
The 101 is Brian McNamara, sponsored by True Line Wheel and Frame of Seattle. He's from Snohomish. The 19 Scarlett Fisher out of Marysville, sponsored by GN Northwest. Also from Snohomish, sponsored by Kia of Everett, Damon Claiborne drives the number 43. The Marysville native 21L is Dustin Lytle.
5th row, Bobby Houck out of Snohomish, Snow Valley Farms on his car. Ryan Hausenfluck is substituting in the 16. Cut shop of Woodinville on the sponsor list there. Dempsey Graham, the 132 from Duval. LAF Tech sponsors that car. And it is the 022 Adam and Rowe. Full Throttle sponsors Michael Turner as he goes outside row number 6.
The 03 is Lucas Hausenfluck out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Cornerstone Homes. Handy in the Valley on board 717 at Diesel Snyder out of Cleella. The North Bend native 17S at Gino Solomon, sponsored by Valley Asphalt. Alongside the 00, Dan Miller out of Everett, sponsored by Exterior Wall Systems.
Let's go back another row. 9th row is Christian Miller, the very fast driver of the 77 out of Everett, sponsored by Turbo Espresso. Matt Snyder is in the 15. He is out of Snohomish, handy in the Valley as well as all 3 of the Snyder family here in this main event tonight. Zach Bristol, the defending champion and defending NASCAR regional champion, as well as in the 1 Junior out of Snohomish, the Hibbs Automotive car. And is the 024 of Donna Gillespie, starting tail end Charlie out of Salem, Oregon, sponsored by Waltz Wood Company. So, big field of cars, 20 for 30 laps. And Derek, these drivers run a different course every time they come here to Evergreen Speedway.
That they do. This round they're on the boot.
Das Boot!
Of note, 16, Ryan Hausenfluck, former Hornet champion turned mini stock driver. He's on track. You saw Ben Iman in that interview. Now, Ben Iman has been a perpetual bad luck charm for tonight's driver, the number 16. See if the change in number from 33 to 16 helps Ryan out at all.
Is it a change in car as well?
It is.
Okay. Who is he substituting for?
That'd be Peyton Hop.
Aha. Well, we know the Hopmobile can get very quick. We will go green at Hornet Main, up and running, and we'll see if the commentator's curse continues on now that Hausenfluck has switched cars and numbers for the night. Green is out. That little tight left-hand corner onto that back straightaway in the 3/8 on the 3rd and 4th corner makes a big difference. But right now, Trinity Reppin going to lead this lap.
Now, of note, you saw a car having some troubles further back. That is the 43 of Damon Claiborne in Randy Moffat's car.
Really?
Usually the 102, tonight the 43.
Well, we know that Claiborne is quick. Car change for him as the 43 must not have been working. The good news is that with the size of Randy's head, we know Damon will fit in the cockpit. As it is Reppin making the left hand. Whoa, look out, Trinity. Slides the car into the corner. Wingfield sits second, and the Brandy Hood Promotions look at the inside of Scarlett Fisher, the 19. Look how cool, calm, and collected her hands are. She's making some good laps early in this.
Running 5th right now, that number 19.
She's been steadily improving, you know what I mean? After that first year where she came out and cut her teeth, 19 car feels like it gets faster every time it's on the track.
I would agree. I know Scarlett interested in turning some laps in some higher divisions in the coming years.
Well, and that's part of what the Hornets are for. It is still kind of an entry-level class, although lots of cars, different division every night. We need to thank some of the people who bring you the Hornets and the rest of the racing here at Evergreen Speedways, and that includes GREENSHIELD. They're our night sponsor here at Evergreen Speedway, your trusted local family-owned store since 1953. Specializing in brake lines, clutch lines, and especially high-performance lines designed for drift cars and competitive racing. When precision matters the most, GREENSHIELD delivers unmatched quality and reliability.
You see a battle here between 6'7" Zachary Dixon, the 01 of Tanner Bjornson, 717 Diesel Snyder, and the 08 of Bobby Houck. Houck got loose there at the end of our camera shot, and off track is the 022 of Michael Turner.
Oh,
lots of trouble unfolding in that turn today.
He's doing a little agricultural racing, helping us out with the landscaping there off the bottom of turn number 4. Right now, though, Trinity Reppin just wants to keep seeing these green flag laps happen. As 5 laps into this, and she's starting to build herself a nice little advantage.
Through the dust cloud goes 2nd through 4th, and
look out, Diesel.
That was a big door slam between the 717 and 67.
Diesel Snyder, the only guy to win 3 features in one night here on Home Track Heroes, as he's worked his way to 3rd from relatively deep in the field. I want to say he was about a row 7 starter here in this. He's 3rd. He's looking for 2nd on Wingfield, one of our graduates from the Youth Hornets.
Both these drivers graduates from the Youth Hornet class.
Yeah, down to the inside goes Diesel. Put the left underneath and look out. We have got big smoke on the back straightaway.
And I see Fluid.
So Fluid down on the racetrack, and we are going to get a look at a couple of replays as coming from the 15 of Matt Snyder, allegedly.
Yeah, it looks like it just gave out there on the infield portion. And yeah, there it goes.
Oh yeah, starts and kaboom, and you can see the stripe that followed Snyder. Thankfully, Snyder right across the 3/8 and onto the access road, so he didn't continue on and lay down whatever the rest of that was across the racetrack. So
the James Bond smoke screen from the view of Brian McNamara there.
Yes, complete with the slick as you're trying to drive through it as well. So track crews will get the kitty litter down, and we will begin cleaning it up. Got to thank All Ply Roofing. They are our show sponsor here on Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Quad box style here for the restart, and you'll start to see some of the speedy dry coming into the corner. There's that nice line of it. While it is dry, it is moisture absorbent. You really don't want to have the tires in it because it will slide you around a little bit.
So Wingfield rear cam on the top right. In-car cameras facing forward for Zachary Dixon, bottom left. Bottom right, Diesel Snyder. Those are second in the top right, third in the bottom left. Bottom right is fourth as we are back underway, the PRCBD Hornets.
Reppin going around the outside here on the restart, and that gives Snyder a clean line to work to the inside of Wingfield if he can get by, but right now Diesel did not.
Ooh, it's getting a bit dicey through those, through the weight transfer section. And here's Diesel with the crossover. Might have just lifted the rear end up on the 65.
But he got through, and so far we're not hearing of any penalty, at least for the time being.
Ooh, I think Wingfield might have gone for a little bit of a retaliatory cap. I wouldn't blame him.
As it is now Wingfield trying to hold off Dixon. Dixon has a nose to the inside coming off the boot and into the 3/8. Meanwhile, for the lead out in front, we got another one around.
That's Lucas Hausenfluck.
So the commentator's curse has extended this time to the kid.
Well, you know, he won recently, so...
All right.
I want to emphasize Ryan Hausenfluck has not finished a race with Ben Iman in attendance.
Wow.
Since he came on the podcast.
Why are you hating our own Speedy Turtle, Ben Iman?
Why do you keep calling him a Speedy Turtle? I feel like that's more insulting.
Would you rather me call him El Rapido Tortuga? They'll make their way into one. We got a new race leader. It is Diesel Snyder. Snyder has worked his way by Reppin. Trinity hung while she could, but boy, Snyder has just been fast all year. Locking up the brakes was Trinity as she tried to carry a little extra speed into the boot section, but managed to get through without further incident.
Here's Dempsey Graham in the 132, also coming up through the field. We have our leader, Diesel Snyder, trying to pull away from the rest of the group.
10 laps in, 20 to go, 1/3 of the race down, and Snyder on the move and trying to stretch. It is Hauk in the 08. It's a bigger zero, but what do I know? He is working on second. Reppin and Hauk for the runner-up spot on the podium. Hauk half a groove lower coming off the corner. Reppin will cut down and protect the inside going into the first turn here.
Oh, a little bit of a bump there. Here might be a classic bump and run.
Pushes Reppin wide. Now let's see if she locks it up again, getting the turn. Made a nice smooth corner and holds on to second for now.
Not sure the bump and run works as well on a road course. I think that's what we were just taught.
It depends. Well, it kind of depends on where you lay the bump, right? If you could get it right here at the apex of one and shoot Reppin too far to where she's got to correct coming back down this, might be okay. But again, application and execution is important.
As here is Hauk trying to swing. He's got pressure coming behind. Makes it to the inside. Dempsey Graham's 132 in the mix. But the 08 going to go over the rumble strips on the inside of turn number 3. Makes the pass for second. Not out of the woods yet.
Dempsey Graham trying to slingshot to the inside on Reppin. It's a good performance from Graham, who's hunting for a podium finish here. Door panel to door panel. And off the left-hand turn, give third spot to Dempsey.
Do believe this would be his first A main podium. Should he be able to hold on to this position? as my stepfather would say, if these standings hold.
Which still a lot of time to go. 14 in, 16 to go, so just a hair away from halfway, but Dempsey Graham looking smooth and fast from now as the Millers are going knock knock. Time for us to enter the chat. Dan in the 00 and his son Christian in the 77, currently sitting in the 5th and 6th position and trying to move forward.
Father-son duo going to try and breach the top 3. They've done that a couple of times this season. But we got some new faces up here. Dempsey Graham in 3rd. Bobby Houck has been improving a lot as of recent. And then Diesel Snyder, who's been one of the most dominant cars this year in this division.
Yeah, whatever they have figured out on the 717 here in 2025, you want to clone it, duplicate it, and continue rolling it forward for years to come, because that car and that driver could collect a lot of trophies and a lot of bucks here in the near future. Houck 2nd. And Graham 3rd. As we have to go to a commercial break, we will come back and finish out the PRCBD Hornet main event when we come back on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. You are in the middle of the PRCBD Hornet main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our program today brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And as we have seen here on Home Track Heroes a time or two, Diesel Snyder is in firm control of this one. Trinity Reppin has a 4th place run going, and she is under fire from Dan Miller in the 00 as we speak.
The Millers are here, father-son duo, applying the pressure to the 45. Reppin was real sideways on the entry into the infield portion.
You know, flowers here for Trinity. Really good performance for her so far. Usually, if you see her out front, she'll have made some kind of mistake or something that'll set her way back in the field. She's put together a really consistent set of laps so far. She's having a great race.
Oh, we've seen, 2 drivers up here, 3rd and 4th, that we're not used to seeing this season. This late in the race being real competitive, and it's awesome to see those drivers learning, getting to watch drivers improve over time. That's something fun. It's a special part of the job.
And look at that, to a car that is not exactly perfect. You saw the counter steer and the recovery there from Reppin to continue through, make a good lap, and again, keep both Millers behind her once again. It's a good job. It's wonderful to see the light bulb go on some of the younger racers for sure.
10 to go here from the PRCBD Hornet main event. Just watched the ticker go by and couldn't help but notice that the 16 is running, I believe, in 16th. So
still racing and has not exploded.
I haven't seen him.
Still racing and has not exploded. This is for 2nd. Dempsey Graham coming up on Bobby Houck, the 08 and the 132. Both of them having a really good afternoon, as we are down to 9 to go, and they're going to war for 2nd.
We're going to ride along with Trinity Reppin as the Millers and Gino Solomon entering the picture. Everyone hungry for a spot.
Oh, Dan, look at that. Gino Solomon. Hey, it's like hitting 66 on your outball roll. Nice to run there, Gino, as he runs down and picked up 3 for 1 in one set of corners.
I feel like I'm not old enough to get what you're referencing.
The board game reference, I didn't figure that one would hit for you. As
what board game?
It is Solomon, then the Millers, as Reppin lost a couple of spots in that exchange. We take a look at Diesel Snyder gunning for another win, and we take a second to thank Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe, your one-stop transportation and RV center. From new vehicles to pre-owned cars and trucks, Speedway Chevrolet can locate nearly any make and model you are searching for. Go tell Todd that you heard all about him here on Home Track Heroes.
717 still your race leader. And the 132 has closed in on Bobby Houck. Dempsey Graham, Bobby Houck, 2nd and 3rd right now. Lap traffic in front of them could definitely play a role, as will getting that loose in the case of the 132.
Nice recovery, though, as you're watching McNamara's 101 and Donna Gillespie's 024 up ahead of him. Hard for me to pull that out with my bad eyesight. But again, like you said earlier, I'm 175 years old, so.
That's being generous. 5 to go here.
Snyder gonna make the easy right-hand turn into the boot again, as Houck has made his way by, and there goes Dempsey as well. So Graham will clear slower traffic.
I think McNamara might have nabbed the Uke tire there.
That's going to cost him the spot. Gillespie will go down low and make that pass, albeit a lap down.
Beautiful sunset.
Always is here at Evergreen Speedway. You know, it's fun to watch here on Home Track Heroes, but there's nothing like being at the track live.
Yeah, you should definitely join us out at the Super Speedway of the West.
You get the sunshine, you get cold drinks, good food, the roar of the engines. You know, there's just something until smell-o-vision is invented. Just not being able to smell the rubber and, you know, hear the motors with your own ears is definitely a thing.
Gino Solomon makes a move to the inside of the two lapped cars. He's got pressure coming from the 77 Christian Miller. That is 4th and 5th right there, but this is your race leader coming to 2 to go. Diesel Snyder, huge gap between him and the 08 of Hauk.
You gotta wonder, as dominant as Snyder has been this year, moving up into Hornets and Stinger 8s and doing all the things that Diesel has done, like, how much sooner do we see him in something even bigger and more prestigious? He has been that good.
Well, I'm sure he would be frothing at the mouth if someone put a car in front of him.
Hey, come on, drive this mini stock. It'll be fun. Good battle for second continues. Hauk and Dempsey Graham on the 08 and the 132. As the 1 to go signal has been thrown, white flag out for your race leader. We'll look a little further back in the pack.
Oh, he's working his way through this traffic. Hey,
Yeah.
look, there's the 16.
He'll make it. It'll be fine. He's going to finish. As it is Snyder mired in slower traffic here and making his way to a relatively easy win. The checkered and Diesel Snyder gets the job done. Bobby Hauk and Dempsey Graham, wait for it, they're 2nd and 3rd. Let's talk to him on the Angel Twins Casino Resort podium.
All right, Dempsey, good run tonight. After that red flag came out, you had a couple cars to get past up on the podium, but you made the moves. What more do you think you needed to get to Bobby in the second?
Oh, I think Bobby was just really good at blocking. He's a little bit faster than I am, and we're just fast and slow in different spots, so it's difficult to get by people like that.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here and up onto the podium?
I want to thank my mom, my dad. They're always helping me figure this stuff out, and my aunt with Dreamosity and Laugh Tech, and then my aunt and uncle with Always Excavating.
All right, let's give it up. Congratulations. 3rd place tonight, the 132, Dempsey Graham. So, Bobby, good run tonight. 2nd place. I'm going to ask you a similar question. Diesel took off and was gone like the wind, but you had to play a lot of defense with the 132 coming over you. What do you think gave you the skills that you needed to be able to block and come home 2nd?
Just run my line, stay my line, and don't let anybody push me around. He bumped me a couple times, but I was able to hold it.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here and up into 2nd place?
I got Snow Valley Farms, Hair Inc., Fearless Design, Full Throttle Graphics, Fisher Racing, CI Racing, Raritan Racing, and then my girlfriend, Sheena.
All right, let's give it up. 2nd place tonight, the 08, Bobby Hauk. All right, Diesel, you were not driving a Hornet tonight. You were driving a rocket ship. What has been your secret so far to be able to finding so much speed and creating these incredible gaps?
Yeah, the gas pedal.
On the gas early, do you find that your car handles in the corners really well? Is that where you find the speed, or is it more of the straight lines?
The corners for sure. It's a DA, so it just goes where I want it to.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here and back to the victory circle?
Handy in the Valley, Valley Asphalt, Hair Inc., Snow Falls Credit Union, these awesome fans, my parents, and I think that's all I got.
All right, let's give it up. Your race winner, driver of the 717, Diesel Snyder.
All smiles from Diesel Snyder, and rightfully so. His Dream 2025 continues here on Home Track Heroes. Congratulations to him on the PRCBD Hornet win. It is time to go 30 laps around the 3/8. We move on to the BECU mini stock main event, and a big invert for them tonight. So fast guys at the back. Let's watch them come through. Your lineup looks like this. Ashley Rasmussen on the pole out of Eatonville, the A&J Custom Metals, number 92. And to her outside, Tegan Bjornson out of Arlington, the Newell Corporation, number 59. Second row is Keegan Mooney out of Bellevue, the Liquimali, number 11. And Randy Dittmers in the 61 out of Snohomish, driving the Debbie and Dan Chernesky sponsored car.
Allied Motorsports on board the number 18 of Paisley Bender out of Snohomish. Alongside the number 12, won his heat race, holding off A hard charge in number 4, the Absher build machine out of Marysville, Gavin Ballou. Row number 4, Zach Bristol on the inside. Number 97 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Racers Against Child Abuse. Scheduled to be alongside 16 of Travis Woodward. Out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Simon & Son Towing.
Row number 5 is Brandon Lindbergh. Adam and Rowe Tire Pros sponsors the 88. 2 is Outside Cole Reardon out of Grand Falls, our most recent feature winner, sponsored by Bob T. Builder in car number 4. Back row, final row, Lyndon Smith, 221 out of Everett, sponsored by PRCBD. And Josh McMillan coming down via sleigh ride from the North Pole, sponsored by the Christmas Drink Company. We put the days and holidays in car number 8. 12 cars, 30 laps, full invert once again. McMillan's first appearance at Evergreen Speedway on the year. That's why he is at the back of the field. So quickest qualifier in Smith, 221, starting 11th on this field. Crazy train.
Remedying an issue on the number 16 is what sent him to the rear. You see him outside of the final row as well. It will be the number 92 and the number 59 leading us through turn number 3 as the pace car pulls off. Rolling through 3, coming off at turn number 4. They look to the flag stand, and we are away.
These mini stock names have been something serious this year. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway as they arc the cars into turn number 1.
Leave it to them.
It is Bjornsson, the early leader. That is Didmar sitting second, Blue early into third.
That is the number 4 of Cole Reardon, who started outside of row number 5, up into 4th already. Here comes the Bob T. Builder machine, following the number 12 of Ballou.
Found a really clean path up and around the outside, and Cole is not afraid to drive up there.
Like he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, he has made his way through and down the front straightaway. He's going to bid for second into the corner, but has to check up as Ballou got that car downstairs quickly.
So it is Bjornsson, Ballou, and Reardon. All of them in the same type of car.
Yes, that is a 1948 Ford Pinto that they're racing.
Yep.
Testing your mechanical knowledge. To the inside goes Ballou. Actually, they're all Hondas. That's been what Reardon's specialty has been. Spent a lot of time trying to get those things up and moving. Reardon now trying to peek to the inside on Ballou, as Ballou has gotten by Bjornsson way out of line, and unfortunately that's going to shuffle him back a few spots.
Yeah, Reardon perhaps thinking of his heat race struggles to get past the number 12, would prefer to grab the inside if he's given an opportunity to. It's exactly what he's going to try and do in 3. No, not quite. As Lindbergh, Bristol, and Smith have entered the top 5. They are hot on the tails of your race leaders.
Cole Reardon got a great run off the bottom of 4. To the inside he goes, and he will take the top spot coming out of the second corner. So Reardon this time did not putter around the outside, waited for opportunity, saw it down low on Ballou, and he will grab the race lead and watch Cole Reardon stretch. Wow. Smith has got third away from Lindbergh. Lyndon knows that you can't let Cole get too far out and on his own. As he works in, he'll get down on the racetrack to take over that third spot. So shuffle Lindbergh backwards, and now Smith working on Ballou for position 2.
2 Hondas, 2 Fords, 1 Volkswagen, your top 5. The VW trying to make a move to the inside of the number 88 down the backstretch.
Looking inside is Bristol. We know he keeps his corner speed really well. To the inside, they'll go door panel to door panel for 4th. As we look back at your leader, already 8 laps in.
The bunny going to trounce the horse on this one, make its way up into 4th. Lyndon Smith, meanwhile, has gotten around Gavin Ballou. It'll be Reardon, Smith, Ballou, Bristol, Lindbergh.
Lindbergh not done. Shoots back to the inside. Put some extra pressure on Bristol. Now Bristol not being strong in horsepower here on this one. He really has to put a priority on making sure nobody gets underneath him and they push him to the outside of this racetrack.
Bristol, one of the best when it comes to racing lines. I mean, you can watch that 97 take 20 laps around this track and you'll see how little he varies.
You know, Zach is not old in terms of driver years, but at the same time, he's got 2 decades of experience here. He has been racing here forever.
One could argue he is old in driver years and not in regular human years?
Probably the better way to put that. As you look, Bristol is now running down Ballou. Ballou showing a little smoke, getting into the corner as Bristol within 2 car lengths of him and closes at corner entry into the third
Whoa,
corner.
bumped.
Look out! Another one of the Rabbit variety cars goes around as Guth throws the yellow. In turn number 2, it's for Dittmers. And he got some help.
Not sure he did. Yeah, no, from this view, he does not. Spins.
He was going first. Well, from Paisley Bender.
Whoa.
Yeah, Paisley missed that. Skinned the Rabbit coming around the corner to Paisley Bender as she will go to commercial. Back with more mini stock main event next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. The BECU mini stock main soldiers on here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. He is DT on TV, Derek Todoroff. I'm Caleb Hart, and let's get back to action with 19 to go. Your race leader is Cole Reardon in the 4 car. Outside of him, it's Lyndon Smith in the 221. And as this race comes back to green flag conditions, we need to remind you that every episode of Home Track Heroes is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Well, the equation's changed a little bit, Derek. Lyndon Smith is going to be right up on Cole Reardon here in the restart as they go side by side coming off the corner.
Time to show what they've got. Honda versus Ford on the front row, and they've got a Volkswagen in the conversation as well as off the green. They stay side by side. The 97 also in the conversation.
Watch Bristol as he will tuck in. The orange 97 sits third. It's going to be Smith trying the outside on Reardon. He's got a nice run. But will the longer way around the racetrack pay off for Lyndon? Still kind of door panel to door panel as Reardon leads off the restart.
Smith gonna fall in line. See Bristol running third, sticking with him for now. We know he doesn't have the best long run car.
It is Reardon opening it up as he's gotten to the bottom, and now without a car on his outside to pinch him down, he can again widen out the corner entry and carry some more speed through the apex of the corner. It's the difference between a racing line and what you would say a side-by-side line is when you're trying to pinch down or defend a spot. Reardon kind of showing the benefits of that now as he's now got 2.5, make it 3 car lengths coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, the 221 and the 97 both starting to fall back from the 4 of Reardon. Meanwhile, we got a battle. This is 59 of Tegan Bjornsson, the 11 of Keegan Mooney.
It's a great example of a couple of our Youth Hornet move-ups over the years. Mooney a Youth Hornet as of last season. Bjornsson has been tinkering around with other divisions and now full-time as a mini stock driver himself and looking good. He's had some moments here in this race.
He likes any class that's got mini in it. Mini stock, mini bump to pass.
Well, there is an art form to driving the 4-cylinder short wheelbase cars as opposed to the V8 powered longer wheelbase ones. It's definitely different skill sets. As we watch Reardon continuing to stretch here. Smith sitting in second, over halfway.
Almost feels like his car is starting to come alive now. As if that first 8, or honestly the first 3 laps went his way. The next 5 went the way of the 4. Now the 221 starting to come back into this one, into speed.
We'll glance backwards. We'll watch Mooney and Bjornsson once again. As Mooney trying the middle, and he's got a pretty good run here. It looks like he might eclipse the 59. Oh. Caution out, though. It is Dittmers once again, and Rasmussen, the 92. So it's 92 of Ashley. And from the back straightaway view, around.
Yep.
Second try. And the car just ends up with a really subtle loop around, and interesting spin out there. That'll reform the field, though. So, little 4-lap run, and now back side by side.
Well, now we get to almost test my theory
Okay.
about Lyndon Smith being faster on the initial, then Reardon, then Smith again.
Okay.
Kind of that medium run going the way of the 4, short and long going the way of the 221.
Let's find out. 13 to go. If that plays out, you're looking at Smith making the big comeback with 3 to go.
Yeah.
Ish. All right, we'll go in car with Zach Bristol. Brandy Hood Promotions GoPro mount and rigged up. Big thanks to Brandy and Saxon and Ashley for all the work they do with the in-car camera shots.
Real impressive work from the 97 crew to get this car back together. I know it was a big effort to repair it following its detonation. Would that be the right word of what it did on Showdown weekend?
Yeah, that thing went up in big-time flames. So good job by that team of getting her back together. Smith again trying to hang around the outside here on this opening lap. but Raritan just a little too strong on the inside here. And you wonder if Linden pulls that car down sooner, maybe doesn't hang it outside that for an entire front. Hard to say when his nose is up to the door to do that, but just one of those strategy things that sometimes you got to think about. So Raritan, Smith, and Bristol once again breaking away with 11 to go.
Well, from our perspective, we get to see the slight differences in entry and the lines taken by our top three.
Well, as you guys watch that going around, we say thank you to BECU. Boeing Employee Credit Union believes in people over profit. Discover the BECU difference. BECU, committed to your financial well-being. Check out all the financial programs offered at becu.org, becu.org.
So under my theory, we're now into the Raritan zone.
Okay.
Into this medium run that's been on the side of the number 4 tonight.
9 laps to go, and how long are you expecting Raritan to go? If we stay green the rest of the way here before you would see Smith trying to make that push again to close in.
I think 4 to 3 to go is where you're going to see that 221 come back to life and have something for the 4. I'm not sure if 3 laps is enough time, though, to catch back up to Cole Raritan.
Well, considering the distance that Raritan's put between himself and Smith right now, it'll be interesting to find out as we're watching Paisley Bender put together a good run. Bender outside the top 5 at the moment. She is 6th, but the 18 car looking strong here tonight. So Raritan settling in, 7 to go, as we will look at the 88 of Lindbergh and the 12 of Ballou. This is for 4th, Derek.
Both these drivers have had a pretty good night so far. The number 88 machine, of course, been, one of the surprises, to be perfectly honest, this season. A Stinger 8 driver turning some laps in a mini stock. We've seen it work out before, but working out a second time.
Heck, in that exact same camp.
Yeah,
right?
I believe the same car.
You're likely right, as we think that Lindbergh has jumped into the car that Jackson Beckel came out and did so well in.
You really got to wonder if some of those Stinger 8 guys should try a season or 2 of mini stock racing, see if they can go win themselves a title.
I am all for building more race cars. Have a Stinger 8 and the mini stock. It'll be fun. As, hey, what do you know? 4 to go, and Lyndon Smith is closing. Now, granted, Rasmussen was slower traffic there, so there's an X factor, but Smith has shortened the gap between them. 3 to go now. Ballou to the outside of Lindbergh. That's for 4th.
Battle between the 12 and the 88. Now, Ballou in the opposite position we saw him in during his heat race, where he was defending the low side, facing off against Cole Raritan, now trying to find his way on the high against the 88 of Brandon Lindbergh.
The 12 of Ballou as Smith closing again, but again, traffic in front of your leader. So, Raritan having to kind of pick his way through. You'll remember Ballou sustained what I believe was a shoulder injury last year and missed a bunch of seat time. So we're down to 1 to go. Raritan will get underneath McMillan, has Bjornsson to deal with, slings it to the outside. It's time for one big bonsai move from Smith, and no one home on the river, as your winner is Cole Raritan. Lyndon Smith did close for 2nd, and Bristol takes 3rd. Way to go, Nostradamus. Let's talk to your top 3. The Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium is next.
Well, Zach, not the night you wanted in Hornets, but I know this has got to feel pretty great after blowing up a week ago.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot of work to get this car back together.
Yeah, it was a lot of late nights in the shop this week. I think we were at the shop 11:30 most, if not all, the days. That motor in that car did not fire off until 11 o'clock last night, and we finally got out of the shop about 12:30 this morning. But yeah, this is honestly, in my mind, it's a win after last week. The crappy part of dominating, blowing up, but all the time and effort put throughout the week and come back. Car feels pretty good. We're still underpowered again, but you know what? I'll take a trophy any day right now.
Cobbled together a great run. Who would you like to thank?
Definitely Dane Osman, Wally Barber. They were in the shop with me all week. Nat Barber and Amy Barber, obviously, for always letting me run that beautiful Strong. And Nat, Dylan B. Wald, my Hornet car owner Tommy Hibbs, they were shipping parts overnight, left and right, just to get that thing ready. Racers getting shout abuse. Check it out on Facebook. It's a great cause. Something awesome to get behind. Obviously, my girlfriend, Sarah, because obviously doing double duty and she's keeping an eye on me. A little mini me, thank God I didn't freak him out this week on the ball of fire. And same with my sister. And yeah, thank you fans for coming out, enjoying the heat, and always love racing in front of you. Thank you.
Driver the number 97, Zach Bristol, third place tonight. Well, Lyndon, just that little bit too short. You think you needed more laps or something else to get to Cole?
Oh, I mean, Cole was fast all that race. We were catching him in the first half, and then front tires started to fall off. So, I mean, it was a great race all in all. After our 15th place finish showdown, I can't be upset with the second.
Now, speaking of, you're another driver who comes back from some adversity a week ago. How's it feel to take home a podium?
Oh, I mean, it's awesome. Classes are difficult, so this is a nice little break. I mean, driving the car is relaxing. Earlier in the day, I mean, the car was driving itself, so it was a little bit of work for the main, but again, can't be too upset with second.
And who would you like to thank?
I got to give a huge thanks to PRCBD, BECU, Central Welding, Bosworth Trucking and Grading, Dave Riddell. He's been a great help. He's been helping the car get fast, and just anybody who's helped me get to this point.
Driver the number 221, Lyndon Smith, second place tonight. Well, Cole, unlike the other two, you follow up a victory last week with a victory here. Come from behind versus domination. Feels pretty good to see it both ways, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That was a fun, good, clean, hard racing right there. Yeah.
You put on a good show, navigate traffic incredibly well. What's your secret to that?
Oh, man, it's the car. I can put it anywhere I want. So, I mean, the cool track like this with my Honda, it's super light, easy on tires. They just grip this cold pavement. So, I mean, that's the key, really.
I know you got people back there helping you out. Who do you like to thank for getting this win?
Well, I got to thank my crew, my spotter, my girlfriend Jenny, Bob, my dad, Lucas, my daughter Kalia, and then my Royce. He's still back in the pits waiting for me in tech. My sponsors, Bob T. Builder, Royce Tanner Racing, NPM Welding and Fab, Full Throttle Graphics. I got to give them a big shout out. We had some contact last week, and they jumped to it and made my car pretty again, keeping cherry. Bickford Trailers, got to thank BECU, have to thank Evergreen Speedway, and all the fans. Thanks for coming out.
Driver the number 4, winner in the BECU Mini Stocks, Cole Raridan.
Well, the walk-off win for Cole Raridan as he picks up another one. Congratulations to Cole. We are ready for the main event of the evening. Let us move to the biggest boys and the baddest toys. It is the Chain Lake Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8s for 30 times around here in the main event of the night. On the pole, it is the 676 Ricky Dietz out of Arlington, sponsored by Tire Pros of Arlington. The JE55 Jessica Wilkinson out of Marysville, Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning. Second row, Dakota Wilkinson out of Lake Stevens, Tony V's Garage sponsors the 9 car. And the 767 Jamie Corbett out of Arlington, sponsored by A1 Auto Service Center.
Action machine on board the Grand Falls native, and your points leader coming into the night, the 51, the Rocket, Ryan Clark. Right alongside the 83G of Zach Larson, sponsored by Brundage Bone Concrete Pumping. The 74 in the backup car out of Tulip, Bulldog Haven Northwest with Chris Curtis. The Cobalt Cycles number 35 out of Lake Stevens, Haley Wilkinson. And no, they do not like that start.
Thought about it, said yes, no.
You gotta...
And that's fair.
Come to the line together.
So Wilkinson and Dietz, they will make the front row here of this one. Dietz kind of looking to turn the season around. It has been, I don't want to say substandard by Ricky's perspective, but definitely not in victory lane as much as he would like.
Telling me pre-race they've made a lot of changes to that car, been to the Gunderson Speed Shop to try and make adjustments and get back in the competitive nature of this race and this season. He will kick it sideways in his signature style.
But he's got, so one of the things on the Dietz car is, and to a T, his competitors will tell you, he probably gets more horsepower to the wheels than anybody else in the division. That motor in the 676 is an absolute monster.
Well, and he loves a loose race car as well. He loves kicking those rear wheels out and flying on through the corners.
One of the things, too, is this year the switch to the slick tires lets you get more of that power down and hang on to it. So question is, not only for Dietz, can he get the power down, but can he hang on when he sails it all out there? It is Dietz. Larson, who is also looking to get quite the mechanical gremlin out of his pit area. Love tapped to Dietz, and Larson takes the lead out of the corner.
Chrome horn from the Cadillac as they will come through the corner. And the 83G, your new race leader, Zach Larson, in control. Dietz gonna fall. Here's some fire from the 51 and the 9. Ryan Clark and Dakota Wilkinson. Chris Curtis waiting in the wings to make an adjustment. Coming off the corner there, side by side, big trouble.
Whoa! Well, full send. And yeah, that was something. Let's take a look, because I think we've got that one on camera a few times.
Oh, you gotta wonder if that's a stuck throttle.
Hung throttle would make a lot of sense there.
That is, you see the car almost gas up there.
Yeah. There is no version of this that I can think that Chris Curtis lost his mind and just said, I'm going to clean 3 people out. So, yeah, Chris into the corner and mass chaos ensues. Here's from Clark's perspective. Whoa! Hey, great look at the Joe's Racing Products helmet hook. As there's from Dietz's point of view. Holy cow. How about from Coda? What a look. And then in car with Ricky.
Wow, you see
that got
how
on the right front. Wow. So, big wreck in the Outlaw Figure 8s. We'll come back and sort it through when we come back here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. We have reached the final segment of the night here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. I am Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And, well, it was a big collision right before we went to break. Wiped out some of our competitors as Chris Curtis' throttle hung up as the reports that we're getting from the pit area. And unfortunately, it has ended the race for a couple of the other drivers out there, but we're about to come back to green with Zach Larson out in front of the field, and we are underway.
Riding along with Ricky Dietz here in the 676. And immediately you get some insight into the crumple room on these Outlaw Figure 8s. Saw the 51's rear end just smashed in. Like a child's toy, they slammed against a wall.
So in that exchange, we lost Dakota Wilkinson's 9. We lost Curtis's car. We lost one more out there. Was it?
So Haley Wilkinson.
Haley's 35 as well.
Went in for repairs under the red. I do believe we'll be seeing, I think I see the 80, or not the 83, sorry, 35 at the edge of the pit area waiting to return.
All right, so if there's a gap, if it is all fixed up and ready to go, we'll see her back out there. Meanwhile, Ryan Clark, munched back end and all, he is trying to work his way into second as he works on Corbett, and he's got it.
I have seen Ryan Clark wheel some pretty beat up race cars over the years. I'm sure confidence for the driver, the number 51. He has handled a more destroyed machine. He's up into second. There is a 35 briefly flashing through the intersection.
So you'll have some time here. It's the nice thing, right? It'll be easy to time up the intersection with a portion of your car count missing at this point in time. And he's got some clean air to experiment with and figure out how it's handling. So watch and see how Clark adjusts to his now less than brand new and straight race car as it was. Let's take a second, and we got to thank All Ply Roofing. All Ply Roofing has sponsored us all year long here on Home Track Heroes. Without them, this show would not be possible. And they want to know, is your roof keeping up with all the weather? Washington dishes out. Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com. They are your residential and commercial roofing team. It is All Ply Roofing. Washington can throw you some curveballs. I'll tell you that as a homeowner myself, it's nice to have a team like All Ply behind you, knowing that your roof is going to be safe and sound for as long as you need it to be.
Oh, yeah. Riding along with Jamie Corbett here on the right side of your screen. You see his car rolling around on the left. Now the view of the 83G of Zach Larson. Larson, one of the drivers who escaped unscathed from that early incident. But you mentioned earlier he's had a fairly up and down year.
There was 2 cut tires in one night about a month ago or so here on the show, and just one of those deals, random, went down in a happenstance and then came back out. When they came back out, what they had told me is that they had mounted up the wrong tire on the wrong wheel, and that caused something to handle different within the suspension on the rear of the car, which led to everything riding lower, which led to eventually the tire getting cut or going down once again. So cost them 2 right rears in one race evening, and that is really rough.
Yeah, that is not something you ever want to experience. Tires,
Well, you're in a hurry in this division, right? And, there is no pit time. You go to the pits. We're not here at Evergreen Speedway because we are trying to finish up by a certain time on every race night. You're not going to get time on a clock, so you've got to thrash on a repair, and it's really simple to make a little mistake like that.
The 51 of Clark, who we're viewing now, mentioned he has taken some beatings in that race car before. But really impressive to see how these chassis handle a hit like that.
Well, you look at it for Clark, too. Your points leader coming into this, the most winning driver in the division coming into this as well, or maybe tied for it at this point with Chris, I'm not sure. Either way, up on top of the points, that we know for sure. Having the car still be functional to where he's in second right now, going to make a massive difference for that end of the year score.
Oh yeah, he can take his time, and I mean, if I'm Ryan, if I think the car can handle it, I want to go get Zach Larson, obviously.
Yes.
But if I don't, you don't want to push the car too far.
No.
All it takes is one moment when you do that, and the season can be completely derailed.
And we're into that point of the year where drivers are starting to think about points racing.
There are 2 races for the Outlaw Figure 8s after this one.
Absolutely.
In the season, I should say. There's a bonus one.
It's very cliche, but to finish first you must finish. Clark has done an excellent job of that. The 51 car stays running by and large every night. And tonight, no different, even though he got smashy up the back. Like, that car's still rolling and rolling strong to the point where he's second.
And let's not take away from Zach Larson. The driver of the 83G got to the front before the incident even happened.
Yep.
And he has formed quite the gap. I do not want to diminish what he's doing up front right now. He lapped, while we were talking about Ryan, he lapped the 767 to Jamie Corbett. Or sorry, no, that was 676. Now he's coming up on the 767 Jamie Corbett. That is your 3rd place driver. There's a lot of speed, seems to be coming together on the 83G.
Yeah, as fast as Ricky was earlier, I think you can tell that car's pretty wounded out here in making those laps. And if you're Ricky, I mean, there's nothing you can do. He didn't have enough time to know what was going on at Curtis and, get all turtled up and ready to take an impact there.
One thing you can really admire about these cars is the various styles of sideboards and wings.
There's definitely there isn't a rule, right?
No, there's not.
It is how big do you want to make them? How small do you want to make them? There's very little rules in this Outlaw Figure 8 class to begin with, especially when it comes to car construction. Dietz has gone really hardcore on wing size and height, where you look at a Jess Wilkinson out there, maybe just a hair taller but vastly shorter in terms of what she's running.
Well, and at some tracks it's going to play a much bigger role than at others across the nation. Zach Larson has a very, I'd say, indie style to his 83G.
Which, as a driver who's been back there more than a few times, makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, and you got this weird combo. I actually kind of love it, but the 767 doesn't quite have those same side wings that go all the way up to the driver's door. It's got the little slats.
Part of that, too, is going to deal with car construction, right? With no rule on area and where you can place it and where you're going through. And I am 100% sure that none of these drivers have access to a wind tunnel. It's all guesswork because the side wings are adding side bite. That center section is adding downforce. How much side bite and how much downforce do you want to add? Clearly, Zach Larson added the correct amount of it tonight as he rolls away to the easy win. Congratulations to Zach. In second, Ryan Clark drives the wounded 51, And Corbett will take third. Let's talk to the top three.
Jamie, a chaotic race to say the least. You take home third today. It was, a dicey one on the restarts. How did you handle it?
My car was a handful to start with. Wow, then I went into the north turn and there was chaos everywhere. I just hope everybody was okay. Looks like a little bit of carnage. That's never cool. But, I stuck it out and sweated it out and pulled myself out of third place right on.
And who would you like to thank for that third place finish?
I'd like to thank Ryan Berg, A1 Auto Service Center, Tire Pros Arlington, Simmons Garage, Clinton, Dan Miller, GN Northwest, PTM, Precision Tire Management, Augie, Brandy Chavez for doing all of our videos, Bobby Black, most of all my crew chief, Paul Peterson. He's huge help, dude, and he wrenches on so many cars out here. I swear that guy should be nominated for, he should be like VIP of this track, he's cool, he helps everyone. Paul Peterson, dude, give that guy an award every time.
Driver the number 767, Jamie Corbett, third place in the Outlaws. You took a heck of a hit there in that number 51. In those moments when you see the car barreling towards you behind you, what's going through your mind?
Well, I don't run a mirror, so I didn't see it coming, and all of a sudden got waylaid and then hit Ricky and didn't really know what was going on, and then kind of sat there for a minute and realized what all happened, and then sure enough, it was my uncle that hit me and told me his throttle hung. So luckily, he didn't take the car out. I'm glad everyone's okay. A little bit of work to do the cars, but very happy with the second place result. Finally get back up on the podium after 2 bad races.
Who would you like to thank?
I got an amazing list of sponsors: Action Machine, Bulldog Haven Northwest, Thermotech Powder Coating, JB Sandblasters, Bruce Beeler, MBQ Chassis, MBQ Motorsports, Holton Racing, MCA Creations, so many more. Newest sponsor to the team, Polk Brothers Racing, and I want to thank all the people that work their butts off in the shop. My dad, Chris Curtis, my mom, Aunt Cena, Jason, Nick, Connie Holton, all these people that get me through to get out here and do what I love to do.
Driver the number 51, Ryan Clark, second in the Outlaws. Zach, you had some success earlier in the season in a backup car. Now you get to do it in your own car. You take home the win. How you feeling?
That's a long time coming. We really needed that, and it feels really good to get back here and win.
You make quick moves at the starts of races. That seems to be how you make your way to the front. Is it just easy for you, or is the car something special?
No, it's definitely not easy. That first lap's the most important one. Believe it or not, even with 30 laps, if you don't get luck behind you and find those holes quick, you're going to the back.
Well, you take home the win, get the trophy. Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
I got to thank Brunch Bone Concrete Pumping, S&S Rentals, Gunderson Speed Shop, and my father-in-law, car owner Paul Peterson, for everything he does to get me here.
Driver the number 83G, your race winner in the Outlaw Figure 8's, Zach Larson.
Zach Larson gets the monkey off his back tonight. Congratulations to him. Well, we said it was a fun show today, Derek. It's even more fun when you can be here in person. The next time you can come to Evergreen Speedway, it is the 22nd. It is start of the fair shows. Monster Trucks, Megasaurus, the Stadium Trucks, Youth Hornets, buses, and more kicks off the 3-day fair weekend, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Be here at Evergreen Speedway. Next week on Home Track Heroes, $10,000 to win Granite Cup for the Wing Sprint Cars, Can-Am Sprints, Focus Midgets, Legends, and more. You guys are going to want to tune into the episode. He is Derek Todoroff. Big thank you to Ben Heineman, Victory Lane. The Hobbs is on production. My name is Caleb Hart. We will see you next Sunday night for more Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.